Daily Gang, it's the day after, the night before. We're at the event in Liverpool at the Hilton Hotel. We sold 120 tickets, which obviously, as you know, 10% don't show. So probably about 110 people will be out there right now. I don't know the number yet. It starts in 35 minutes in here, 5 minutes out there, but it's already got quite a crowd outside. The room's nice. I like this hotel, really good hotel. Outside, came up, 2 people have got an auction property that they bought. They've got to complete in 26 days and they don't have finance in place. So they've asked if we can help. I told them he's the man to see. So hopefully Rich can sort that out for them. But it'll be a good night. Talk about what we do in property, journey, how I started, what everybody else needs, get all the questions and answers in. If I can answer the questions, I will. If I can't answer the questions, then shit out of luck, basically. My screen's here again. My screen. My favourite thing. All the team are here and I'm excited for the event. So what's the point in worrying and being around people that are not supporting us? What is the actual point? There's none. There's no point whatsoever, because once you've gone, you're gone. You don't get a second chance. So you got to do what you got to do in order to make yourself happy. Remember, happiness, you know this happiness thing, it's only you that can make you happy. Not an outside person can make you happy. Like, only you can become happy. If you've got someone else making you happy, then that's not real. So you've got to look after yourself. You've got to make sure you are good in your environment and you're good with yourself. Then it spreads. So yeah, my advice to you is if you've got anybody in your circle that's not helping you, what's the point? When we first get money, when money comes into our bank accounts and we start making really good money, okay? First things you do, you buy everything that you've ever wanted, okay? Facts. Guaranteed facts. Some people are going to sit here and go, no, not me. Nope, I'm not that person. I don't want to do that. But when you get money to start with, you buy everything you ever want, okay? Whether that's a new car, a new pair of trainers, new clothes, new handbag, new watch, depending on the level of money that you're at. But you know, eventually, it wears off. It actually does become boring, genuinely becomes boring. There's only so many cars you can buy. There's only so many watches you can buy. There's only so many pair of trainers you can buy. There's only so many different pairs of clothes you can buy. It starts to become, when you get to a certain level of money, all about the bigger picture. You know, the legacy and the generational wealth and handing things down to your children. And you've got to understand something about me. If you've been watching me for longer than a year, you'll see that I like fancy things. Everyone can see it's not fucking hidden. I'm very open about it. I love watches. My downfall is watches and cars. But everything else is surplus now. My son was born February 24th last year. Soon as my son came into the world, the whole thing just changed. Everything just changed. Yes, I still want to buy a watch because that's investments in my opinion. But the idea of everything changes when you have children. Every single thing flips on its head and it's like, holy shit, I now have somebody that is going to take over everything I have, and I need to make sure that when they're the age that I was 18, 16, 21, they don't wake up in the middle of the night with that hot sweat. Has anyone ever woke up in the middle of the night with that pain, that hot sweat because your bills are due? And you're like, holy shit, I don't have this money. Anyone done that, truthfully? Because I've struggled with it my whole life. I used to wake up at like 23, 24, 25, and I used to be like, oh man, the bills are due this month, I don't have the money. And it used to really, really, really scare me, and my heart used to pound, and then I used to think about it all day, and I used to get hot sweats and stuff. Well, I don't want my children to have that. So my whole everything I do now is in a different focus. It's a different strategy from what it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, it was just I wanted to build the biggest bank balance and have more houses and properties than anybody in the country, and I wanted to become the biggest. Still want to become the biggest, but not really bothered about certain aspects of the world now. Like, I don't really care what's in my bank anymore. I want it to be in properties that I know are going to my son. If I'm going to go out and buy, like I wanted to buy a new car last month, but I got offered an opportunity to buy something that was going to make me a lot of money. And 2 years ago, I'd have bought the car straight away, and then I'd have gone and got the money to buy the other thing. Then I was like, I don't need that car because my son can't fit in it with my Isabella, so I'll just buy the thing instead. Whereas, like I said before, I just bought both of them. There's a lot that changes, and your life changes when you have children. Hopefully some of you in here are going to have children, some of you have got children, and your whole perspective changes. But when you've got someone like me in front of you and I'm telling you my story, guys, if I can do what I have done in this period of time, it's crazy to think that I'm giving you the information and all you've got to do is implement what I've done. That's it. You ain't got to do anything. There's no magic recipe. There's no fairy dust. There's no get rich quick scheme. There's no, you're going to do this today and you're going to be rich tomorrow. I can't make you financially free in 7 days. But what I can do, I can give you the fucking motivation, the education, and the tools that you need to change your life. Afternoon, daily gang. It is 2 o'clock. We're starting the daily quite late, and meeting up with a friend of mine. I'm taking him around some properties, showing him some of the finishes, and then I think he wants us to source him a property actually so he can start his own journey. So yeah, that's pretty cool. When it's a friend actually, it's good because you can progress his journey and see how he's doing. Last night, Liverpool event, sensational, unbelievable, sold out event, back on tour again in the UK, loved it, turnout was amazing. You know, without the people that actually turn up, it doesn't work. So to you guys that come, support, sensational. We had like 75 to 80% of the room was new people, which is always good because it shows that we're growing and it shows that the reach is there. So yeah, that was incredible. I did a podcast as well yesterday with Hustling with Houses. We went for Nando's afterwards. I think he has the potential to actually become one of the biggest podcasts in the UK in property, because the way he is, his demeanour, the way he talks to you, the setup as in, it's a free-flowing conversation. So if you're a property person in the UK and he invites you down, I would go on that podcast. There's obviously a lot of podcasts that are just for show, but his one is genuinely trying to get to what made this person successful, what does this person thrive on, how do they think. He has certain questions that, you know, really, really help. I really enjoyed that. What has happened to me today? So, you know, we have a bit of a legal issue going on with the contractor, a dispute, which is, I believe the dispute was amicable. I've been sent a few screenshots from people about wording he's using with my name and my brand, which I'm not entirely happy about. So what I'm going to do on Monday, because obviously it's Friday, I'm going to break down the whole situation within payments that have been made, money that was left, quantity surveyor reports to show how much work's left. He was clearly a financial situation that has caused this. He wasn't sacked, he walked off the job, he ended his contract, which had overrun anyway. Like I said, it's in legal, so there'll be no names or anything like that mentioned, but I think it's important to get other people's points of view, like, are we in the wrong, are they in the wrong? X, Y and Z, obviously it'll be dealt with by a judge who will make a decision, and like I said, if I'm in the wrong and I owe that contractor X amount of money, I'll happily pay it. But if I'm right and that contractor's in the wrong, well, I want every single penny that I am owed. And the easiest way to deal with a situation is just let the judge and the quantity surveyor sort it out. Numbers don't lie. You know, there's two sides to every story, then there's the truth. And that's where we're trying to get to. The bit in the middle, that's the truth. But I'm not having anybody run around and say certain things about me. That's not going to happen. But I'm not going to get in for tit for tat. That's not how I respond, and that's not how I play the game. The game will be played above board. with judges, with solicitors, with facts and figures, because, like I said, numbers don't lie. Facts and figures, and it kind of like, it didn't upset me because things can't upset me like that. I just don't like my name being dragged through the mud. It's not something that we do. That's why I'm at the top of the game, because I keep things professional and I keep things above board, and everybody gets what they deserve. So yeah, I'm run down and do a complete breakdown for you because I don't have time today because it's quite late on all that kind of stuff. It's just something I need to deal with. But other than that, positivity, onwards and upwards. West Brom are playing tonight, so I'm back in the box twice in a week, which is pretty cool. QPR are really struggling for doing that. And he was giving it the big one at the beginning of the season when they're 8th or 7th or whatever. Now they're in the bottom 3. They look like they're going down, let's be completely honest. Sorry, Duna.
No, it's true.
Yeah, sorry, Duna.
Yeah,
so right now we're going on to the next one, and it's Friday. Everybody has to get paid. All the contracts have to be paid today. So I need to be back in the office in the next 2 hours to make sure payments are made. Guys, this project is completely finished now. 7 weeks and 1 day the contractors have finished this job in. Today is their final payment for their invoice, and we got the keys back, I believe, last night. So I'm here now and I'm going to snag this property. My whole team are here. They're all looking around the property as well. So I'm going to give you an insight into some of the things that we actually snagged, basically. And when you go around looking, these are some of the things. So first things first, front door. This is crucial. How easy does it close and open without it sticking or anything like that? You can see how easy that was working. Now some of these doors, they drop and they need tightening. That's perfect, it's not an issue. And then you have to make sure every light switch works in the entire house. Now if you come around here, you want to see the finish on the worktops. You want to see the finish on the plug sockets, and you want to make sure that they're flush to the wall and there's nothing showing. The radiators, you want to make sure that the heating's working in here. So the heating's on right now, so we'll check that. When you're walking on the floor, so this laminate flooring, you want to make sure there's no creaks, there's no bumps, there's no piece above another piece, that all the joints are correct and everything's right. Windows, you want to make sure that all these windows are open and close and all of the keys work. You want to make sure that all of the windows are sealed. In this house they had a mastic man come, so it's exceptional. Again, all of the plug sockets everywhere. You want to make sure they're completely flush to the wall and they're all in. Little trick as well, put your fan or your charger, you know the mini fans or your charger, put it on, plug every single socket in the house, make sure every single socket works. Skirting boards, you just want to make sure that they're finished correctly, everything's good. Window sills is another one, you want to make sure that they're finished correctly, there's no cracks or anything there. And all of your spotlights as well, you want to just make sure that they're flush and there's nothing on the outsides that look like they've got any cracks or anything behind them, because when you push them in it usually breaks the plaster. So you just want to make sure that they've touched it up and it's working. And then if we come around here, very simple things, you want to make sure that all of your internal doors, so all of these here, they close and open correctly. They don't catch on the floor, they don't catch on the ceiling. That's another one. You're going to have to pause there for 1 second because we've got somebody on camera who doesn't want to be on camera. So you stay there, I'll go this way. Again, another door, you want to make sure that that opens and that closes. Into here, radiator, make sure it's on, make sure it's working, make sure everything's correct. Another window, make sure it opens. You've got a larder unit there, you have your fuse board there, that's all working. And then we come around here, same things all over again guys. Windows, doors, make sure all of the keys are working, make sure your floor's correct. Fridge, freezer, make sure they're on, make sure they're working, which they are correctly. You want to make sure that your worktops are sealed, your running water works, hot and cold, make sure that's okay. Same again with the plug sockets, what I talked about guys. Then we're into your oven and your hob and your extractor fan. You want to make sure that all of those work correctly, so all of them will be tested. Then you have your central heating system, which you want to play around with and make sure works. And again, kitchen cupboards, all soft close. Literally, that didn't work, did it guys? Okay, it is soft close. Just want to make sure that they are all correct and everything's working how it's supposed to be. This again is snagging. It's just having the time to go around and do it. It's very important. Again, all your spotlights, all your smoke alarms. Just check everything. Kick boards at the bottom. That's another one. You want to make sure that they're fitted correctly. And then, yeah, I've just got to make sure that all the plug sockets are working in here and check those doors in here, but then we'll go upstairs and have a look upstairs. We're in the bathroom, and again, taps, make sure hot and cold works in here. Shower, make sure it works. Fill the bath up, and then empty the bath out while you're on site. Flush the chains, make sure all of that is working correctly. Radiators, again, the doors guys, make sure it's not catching on the floor, it's not catching in the frame anywhere. You've got lights on the mirrors, like that. Make sure they're all on, they're all working. It's a great finishing touch. Contractors did that, absolutely incredible. Coming onto the landing, now we have all of the carpets in here, so if you come in here please, you can see how amazing this property is. You want to make sure the carpet's fitted correctly. There's not, it's not bubbling, there's no bumps. You want to make sure it's fitted to the edges correctly, it's stretched out properly. Again guys, windows, make sure they're working. Get your keys as well. All of your plug sockets. Ayush, can you press the lights please? Are they all working? All the lights are on. Make sure you're happy with the finishing here. Skirting boards, again, the doors is important. See if it's catching on all the carpets upstairs. Check all of your internal doors to make sure that they're closing and they're opening. I didn't actually check the lock in the bathroom, so if you back up please, go out. We didn't actually check to see if this door locks from the inside. Perfect, and now you can go into that one mate. Landing, all this is brand new, you can see, no issues whatsoever there. Looking at all your skirting board, all your architrave, making sure that, I think the door stays open. You was holding it for me, wasn't you? Yeah. Again, we're in here, make sure all the lights are working. Why have we got two light switches? Was there supposed to be a pendant in there? Okay, I need to figure that out. Plug all your chargers or whatever you're doing into all of your plug sockets. Make sure the radiator in this room is working, which it is, it is. Windows again, perfect. Spotlights, make sure you're happy with the skirting board, and yeah, that is basically like a little mini tour. I'll do it all over again, I'll keep going over it, and the team have already been over quite a few things this morning, so I'll speak to them about if they've got any lists and anything that needs doing. Outside again, you make sure the render's working, outside lights are working. If you've got spotlights outside, you've got any security lights that are being fitted, make sure they're working. All in all, out of 10, this is a contractor I've never worked with before. We have mutual friends, and they've done this in 7 weeks and 1 day, a full back to brick refurb. Out of 10, I would literally give them a 10, because I've walked around with you, I'm going to walk around again. There is nothing at all in this entire property that I can see that they have not done. Do you remember this the other day guys, when we talked about the gap that was at the top? Well, look how amazing they finished it. Look at all of this they've done here. The attention to detail in this property is second to none, exceptional, and I would give them a 10 out of 10. Absolutely over the moon with the work ethic, absolutely over the moon with the job they've done for us here, absolutely over the moon with the communication, and their final invoice is due today. Not a single issue whatsoever, zero. Exceptional. And these These types of jobs make me smile because this has been turned around in 7 weeks and 1 day, which means now this can be turned into a buy-to-let and it can be ready to go in under 3 months from purchase. So 12 weeks. It's incredible, isn't it? It's absolutely exceptional. So hats off to you guys. Did I doubt you? No. Was I worried about the speed that you was moving and what finish would get here? Genuinely, not really, because you took me around a number of your sites prior to this to show me the finish that you guys achieved. It was just obviously, whilst we was filming the daily, I needed to make sure that the viewers understood that with speed, sometimes it can be at the cost of the quality. So when I talked about it in the daily over the past 6 weeks, it's because when I've seen people do things at this pace, it can be costly at the end with the finish. You guys were exceptional. So yeah, I'm very, very thankful. Thank you for everything you've done. Obviously, it's a mutual benefit. You get paid, I get my house back, and happy days. 7 weeks and 1 day. Now the gardens. So come here. So that's being done next week. If you look out the window, that garden's being done. We have the drop curb already, and that will be tarmacked and it will be bricked with an edging, sorry. And then if we go into the back garden, which you can lead the way and show them the back garden, please. We are going to turn this into a 2-tier garden. So if you look at that, guys, we'll have all of this top part levelled 1 level and it will be slabbed. We will have a handrail all the way across with the steps going straight down. Instead of coming down that way, they'll go that way. Where the shed is, the first shed you can see, that's where the line of the garden will be drawn off. And we will put a gate there and it will be turfed from there to there. And it will be new fence panels on both sides. I think the cost of these gardens is coming in at about 14,000 for the front and the back garden, I believe. Dan's got the quotes. And I think they're going to start the work on Monday. Obviously it's Friday now. So, very happy. It's coming up to 25 to 4. I need to get back to the office to film. But yeah, like I said, I've got to go around the property again. Got to fill the bath up, got to make sure the shower works and stuff like that. Need to get the keys for all the windows to open and close them, and I just need to make sure all these plug sockets work. But yeah, happy day, smiling, and we kept on top of this. So obviously we took back over control. Well, I say we, me and Isabella, we took back over control of everything in our business. And guys, if you've been watching, I think this is 187 days now on the daily, consistently. 187 days of consistently showing you what we do for a living, active property investors and developers. Now, look at what we've shown in the last 6-7 weeks since we've took back control of our own things, and we've implemented individual people into smaller roles, if that makes sense. This is what happens when you take control and you lead the way correctly and you do things in the right way. 7 weeks and 1 day. That's what this took. And if you surround yourself with the right people and you do the right thing, then great things happen. But when you start playing games and you start shortcutting and you start doing things incorrectly, well, it doesn't get you anywhere. You just carry on going on that hamster wheel round in a circle, always wondering why nothing's breaking or nothing's happening for you. You have to be surrounded by the right people. You have to have the right teams around you. You have to be a leader, which means making good decisions and hard decisions. And you've got to take out personal feelings. You have to run it as a business and you have to do things correctly. And then you've also got to remember, the only person that you can actually trust is yourself.